Okay, it's being reported that Howie Roseman wanted the first overall pick in 2012 to draft a quarterback. Okay. We also talk about the Eagles' most overlooked addition per NFL.com, plus final offseason move before training camp per ESPN. But that's not all. Lane Johnson was on NFL Network and he had some huge things to say. Man, I'm ready for football season. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Tall Podcast. And today, as always, we got our birds to talk about. But before we do that, if you rock with the content, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So a report came out yesterday per CBS that the Eagles tried manically to trade for the first overall pick so they can draft Andrew Luck back in 2012. All I can say to the report is cool. Thanks for letting us know 12 years later. We all know Howie Roseman, so I wouldn't put it past him. Plus, at that point, Michael Vick started to get up in age. We had Nick Foles. We ended up having Sam Bradford as a starter in 2015. So we could have used a quarterback back then, but then we draft Carson Wentz, and he does justice for the first couple years. Between him and Nick Foles, we get a Super Bowl, and now we got Jalen Hurts, franchise quarterback, who has an open window for the next 3 years to bring us another Lombardi back. And although a lot of people out there, especially in the off-season months, like to hate on Jalen Hurts, let's take a look at this comparison real quick. At Nagel NFL tweeted this: Joe Burrow's first 51 starts, 14,580 yards total, rushing and passing, 106 total touchdowns, 47 turnovers. Jalen Hurts' first 51 starts, 14,043 yards, 107 touchdowns, 44 turnovers. James Nagel says one is a unanimous top 5. The other one gets questioned if he's top 15? Ridiculous. And again, that's adding the year 2021 when people said Jalen Hurts wasn't that good. And some people think he was horrible in 2023. The turnovers were bad, but he still has less turnovers overall than Joe Burrow, and rushing touchdowns and rushing yards matter simply because there's multiple ways to score points, move the ball in the National Football League. Moving on to a topic ESPN Plus put out, the 2024 NFL offseason final move for all 32 teams before camp. You know, we're only going to worry about the Eagles one, and it's Eddie Jackson, a safety who has experience with Vic Fangio. I know the safety out there on the market everybody wants is Justin Simmons, and I much prefer him over Eddie Jackson. But if the Eagles wanted to get some depth there and have it be cheaper than a Justin Simmons, Eddie Jackson would be the way to go. The article states Philadelphia Eagles signed safety Eddie Jackson. What the Eagles could use is defensive depth at safety. For example, Sidney Brown is coming back from a ACL injury suffered last season, leaving little depth behind C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Reed Blankenship. Eddie Jackson, a former Bears star, would help stabilize the unit. He could play strong safety if C.J. Gardner-Johnson lines up in the slot, or he might even beat out Blankenship for the free safety position. I know, he's older, so you would only sign him to a one-year deal. But let's not forget, when we won the Super Bowl, we had an older guy like Patrick Robinson sign a one-year deal, and he paid dividends, especially late in the season in the slot. All that being said, I don't know if he'll beat out Reed Blankenship. Some of y'all don't believe in Reed, and I tell y'all all the time, yes, he has room to grow, but he only played 2 years in the NFL. This will be his 3rd year, and he only started 1 year, and let's not forget, he was a UDFA for a reason. So I still think there's room for him to develop. I don't know if an Eddie Jackson would beat him out, but you know my saying, best man should play. And I know Sidney Brown is healing ahead of schedule, but we don't want to put too much pressure on the ACL. I do think, again, is it my top priority on defense? No, but an added safety could go a long way just to make sure there's depth on his team in case injuries arise. Just to reiterate, I much prefer Justin Simmons, and by no means am I saying the safety room can't survive. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Reed Blankenship, a healthy Sidney Brown with Avonte Maddox floating over there, I'm cool with it. And the slot will work itself out. CJ could make it better. but it will work itself out. We got a lot of talent in the DB room. This again was the 2024 NFL offseason final move for all 32 teams before camp per ESPN Plus. Now, before we go over the Eagles' most overlooked edition of the 2024 NFL offseason, according to this article, plus Lane Johnson was on NFL Network and had some big things to say and more. Let's hear a word from our sponsor, Mando. The best way to control odor for your pits, packages, and feet. My favorite is the deodorant Mount Fuji. Sorry about the green screen, but this deodorant is the longest lasting deodorant I honestly ever use. Some of these other brands claim 48 hours. They barely work for 6 to 8. Plus, you put some other deodorants on, guess what? It's itchy, it's sticky, it bothers, at least me. I know it bothers some of y'all. This one is so smooth and solid. I promise you can't go wrong with this, but in a starter pack, you get wipes. Quick for your packages, your feet, or the pits real quick, especially after the gym, right? Plus, they come with a lotion. That's mainly for those feet and those packages that, you know what I mean, the soap and the showers don't do. You still should be taking a shower. Go to the description or the pinned comment section at shopmando.com. Click it. Use promo code PhillyMike, all capitals, to get $5 off. Once again, link in the description and the pinned comment at shopmando.com. Click the link. Use code PhillyMike, all capital, not the exclamation point, and get $5 off your starter pack. So let's start off with the most overlooked edition of the 2024 NFL offseason for the Philadelphia Eagles. During the flurry of signings, the addition of wideout Paris Campbell on a one-year, $1.3 million deal was easy to miss. However, he could end up providing a significant boost to the Philadelphia's offense. They continue by saying Paris Campbell was also limited in his first 3 NFL seasons by injuries. However, he showed his upside in 2022, appeared in 17 games with the Indianapolis Colts, and finishing with 63 catches for 623 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's as big of a role you're going to get as the third wide receiver on this team. Third wide receiver, but 5th overall playmaker when you add in Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley, along with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Now, that article was written by NFL.com, and yeah, he might be one of the overlooked signings, but the job ain't automatically his. I do think he has the biggest chance to win it, but I won't fully give up on a resurgence and some good OTA sightings from the comeback kid himself, John Ross, who is literally probably the fastest person on this team. And of course, we can't forget draftees Johnny Wilson, who probably has the quickest feet I've ever seen for a 6'6" guy, and Anais Smith, who really fits the build of what you want in a slot receiver: yards after catch, quick inside and outside, twitchy, and tough-minded. That being said, I do think Paris Campbell is the front runner, but I can't wait to see the training camp battles in July. Moving on to what paved the Lane Johnson had to say on NFL Network, he starts with Saquon Barkley. Once you see him, you'll never forget. Just physically imposing guy, Johnson said of Barkley. I think he walks around at 230 pounds. He's ultra competitive. When you see what he can do at the running back position, and we could flex him out at receiver, he can go. It's unbelievable. I never thought that he would be playing for us, but here it is. I know that he's excited. We're definitely excited up front. I think he's poised for a big, big year. It doesn't get any bigger than Lane Johnson saying big twice. He also said that we have a lot of new faces, a lot of turnover, Johnson said Monday on NFL Network's The Insiders, but I felt comfortable with the way we drafted, got some great players, and really when you look at our roster, we have a lot of size. Obviously, we have to go prove things and are eager to do so, but when you just look at the guys walking around the building, we've got size, we've got speed, and guys are willing to work. Like I said on my live stream 2 days ago, shout out to the real ones who joined, but I got the 2022 off-season vibe. That's what I feel, gut feeling. And it looks like so does Lane Johnson. Lastly, he said this: every year is different. I wish I had the answers to why the second half of the season went the way it did. It was something that went by so fast, and I know after it wasn't a problem, but I'm looking forward, obviously, to this new offense under Kellen Moore. Going to be some things changed up for us up front. Excited. Man, 12th year. Crazy how fast it goes by. All I know is Lane Johnson ain't the biggest rah-rah guy. So when you got him on NFL Network saying these things about Saquon, about the roster, and about Kellen Moore, you better get ready for an epic type season. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Drop the muscle emoji. Let's see if we get 50 muscle emojis. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bell so you can join with the rest of Notification Gang. Leave a thought in the comment section. I absolutely love hearing from you. And until next time, you know what time it is. We out.